Okay, so I'm just going to take a few moments to explain one multiplication strategy that you can use with your class. It's known as partial product. I figured the best way to do it would be to demonstrate it. So we have right here 15 times 16. That's going to be the one that we use, and I already pre-drew this graph, and it's marked at the 10 and the 10, and I'll tell you why later. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to break the 15 and the 16 down into easier numbers. Basically they're expanded form. So you're going to break it down from the tens place and the ones place. So 15 would give us 10 plus 5 times, and then 16 would give us 10 plus 6. Like I said before, we get, can you see that? We get the 10 and the 5 from 15 because 10 is the ones, or the tens place, and the 5 is in the ones. And then the 16, we get the same thing. The 10 is what's in the tens place, and the 6 is what's in the the ones place. And then we're going to multiply those numbers times each other. So we're going to do 10 times 10, and then 10 times 6. Okay, so I'll write that down. 10 times 10 plus 10 times 6. Okay, so that's how we got those numbers there. And then we're going to do the same thing with the 5. We'll do 5 times 10 plus 5 times 6. So this is the expanded form of our problem. I don't know if you can really see, but this is the expanded form. We got the 10 times 10 because 10 times 10. Then we got the 10 times 6 because 10 times 6. Then we get 5 times 10 because 5 over here times 10. And then we get 5 times 6 because 5 times 6. Okay, so we're multiplying across the 10 times the 10, the 5 times the 10, the 10 times the 6, the 5 times the 6, okay? The reason we're adding all of these parentheses together, all of these multiplications, is because multiplication is repeated addition. So we need to add them together to get the same amount, okay? So then what we're going to do with our graph here is we're going to mark off 10 times 10. So let me do that one first. Ten times 10. So this right here, I'll do the whole square for you. This is our 10 times 10 block, okay? Our next piece is 10 times 6. So we're going to do right here. This piece over here represents 10 times 6. This is how we're breaking it down. Okay. Then we have 5 by 10. So 5 by 10. Five times 10 is represented down here. And then finally we have 5 times 6. Okay, so this is the breakdown of the problem that we just created up here through expanding the 15 times 16. So this whole block represents 15 times 16, and these are the different portions that we've made already. So now we're going to solve it. 10 times 10 is 100. So I'm going to write 100 right under the parentheses that have 10 times 10. That way we know where that 100 came from, okay? Then we're going to bring down the addition sign, and we're going to follow it up with 10 times 6. 10 times 6 is 60. We're going to bring down the addition sign, and then we're going to follow that up with our next equation, 5 times 10, which is 50. Bring down our addition sign, and then 5 times 6 is 30. So now our new equation is 100 plus 60 plus 50 plus 30. Okay? Then we're going to add those together. We're going to start right over here. 30 plus 50 is 80. Okay, plus 60. Well, it might be easier to do 160 plus 80, which would eventually give us 240, right? Yep. 240. So we get 240 because 100 plus 60 plus 50 plus 30 is 240. This whole block right here, if you were to count out each individual square, there would be 240 squares. And that is how you do multiplication using partial product strategy.